Hello guys, we want to thank our proud sponsors Ecotech Solutions. Ecotech Solutions specialise in the repair of laptops, mobile phones and tablets. Use a code FIXIT with Notjustboxing to get 20% off. Thank you guys.
Thank you to our proud sponsors Amigos. Amigos is one of the best Mexican food places in Portsmouth. Use this code on screen to get 20% off. Cheers.
I'd like to thank our sponsors Manscaped, one of the leading male grooming companies in the world. Please use the code NJB20 to get 20% off. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to another podcast of Not Just Boxing. We're here with Mikey the Problem today. Mikey, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. I've had a good 18 months and I'm happy I'm in a good position.
Amazing, mate.
Yeah.
It's been a few, I think last time we caught, was it February time?
Yeah. I was in camp for the Virgil Ortiz fight.
Yes.
The fight that could have happened.
Yes.
That's it.
A very long camp as well.
It was. I found out about that the end of November. I thought I was fighting him January 22nd. And then it got to Christmas Eve. I found out that he'd moved it back to March 19th. So from the end of November to March 19th, I was isolated from the world a little bit and getting it done.
Amazing, man. What? So obviously, looking back, you obviously that fight didn't happen for you. You faced Alex Martin, wasn't it? Instead, how was that whole experience for you?
So yeah, I think getting the opportunity to go to the States to fight Virgil Ortiz was unbelievable, and for somebody like me, it was huge. It was amazing, and I prepared so hard for it, as you can imagine. Being a massive underdog, this was my big shot to change my whole family's life, for the foreseeable. I trained very hard. I was so prepared mentally, which I think helped me out fight week. We got there, and unfortunately, Ortiz got ill. I can't pronounce what it was he had, but it was down to losing a lot of weight in a short amount of time, and something happening to his organs and stuff like that. So it was dangerous, and everyone out there that I spoke to said he was huge at the weight. You could see Virgil Ortiz is huge at the weight, you know. So he's only 23 years old. So health is everything at his age. So even now, after everything, I wished him all the health and the wealth and in his recovery and stuff. So yeah, but in my head, the show had to go on. I was potentially the first Portsmouth professional ever to fight in the States, and I'd not given up 4 months of my life for nothing. I was not coming home to Portsmouth without any money in my pocket, you know. But training camps cost. You know what I mean? They cost. People don't realise they cost, and even with sponsorships and stuff like that, sponsorship money goes quick. So there's a lot that comes out of your own pockets that people don't see. So there was no way I wanted to go all that way and not fight. So that's why in fight week I got given several names, and we went through 7 names altogether. I said I think he pulled out on the Tuesday. So what it was, so my boxing licence that I've got over here and my medicals and stuff, they don't count in California. So I had to get a California state medical, California state licence, do it all. So
how was the process for that? What did you have to do?
It was all covered by Golden Boy and that, and everything. But it was, it was crazy. So there was stuff in the medicals I did over there that you don't do over here.
Like what?
I had my eyes dilated for the first time. Right?
It's dropping your eyes.
It's dropped, but I couldn't see for about 2 hours afterwards.
They stitched you up.
I couldn't see my phone or anything like that. I was getting, my coach at the time was having to read me out my texts and stuff like that.
Was it a red dye they were putting in your eye, right? Is that what it was?
Do you know what? I don't know. So it has to be a really dark room, and they inject, put eye drops in your eyes.
Yeah.
And then for about 90 minutes to 2 hours, your vision is terrible.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I've never felt like it in my life. I thought, I can't see. And there's loads of other in-depth stuff that they go through and stuff. It's very in-depth, medical you do. Anyway, the following day I had to go back for my brain scan. because I couldn't do it all in one day. So I went back for my brain scan. I came out, and it was in the middle of Inglewood. So we went to the middle of the hood, like for my brain scan. Like, yeah, proper. And it was me and Miles. And Miles like stuck out like a sore thumb. If you know Miles, he stuck out like a sore thumb. But yeah, like I came out from my MRI, and my manager Lee Eaton was out in Dubai at the time, and he was on the phone, and he said, "Ortiz has pulled out, mate." I was like, what? He's normally a bit of a joker. It took me a while to let it sink in. I was like, "You're joking," and it's like, but they still want you on the show. They still want you on the show. So in my head, I thought, right, I can't dwell on this Ortiz pull out now. I've got to just focus on them trying to get me a fight.
Yeah.
And then from the Tuesday to the Thursday night, 7 opponents I said yes to. And like, I don't know if I remember all 7 names, but the first one was a former world champion, Juan Salgado, but he was like a super featherweight world champion. It was a welterweight now, but I was like, yes, okay, I want to fight. That was straight away. They got me him. Then it was a 6'4" welterweight, Ivan Panzic, his name was. I said yes to him. Like every name that they'd given, if they didn't get across the line, they'd give me a new name. I said yes. And then I think it was either the Tuesday night or the Wednesday night, I went to sleep. I went to bed saying yes to Alexis Rocha. So although Blair Cobbs was calling me out, who he was fighting, I never got offered Blair Cobbs. I got offered Alexis Rocha, who they rated more than Blair. And I said yes to him. I went to sleep thinking I was fighting Alexis Rocha, and woke up to another name because they didn't want to scrap that fight, because it was obviously a good fight, like for LA and stuff. So then they got me the Mexican. Like after a few names, they got me this Mexican that was really unknown. He had 27 wins and, or was it 24 wins and 3 losses, 18 coming by KO, but unknown. He drove in from Mexico, and he was 30 pounds overweight.
Oh, is that what happened? Is that why that one didn't go ahead?
Yeah, but
mate.
I didn't find out until the evening before the weigh-in. So I'd agreed to 6 names, or altogether 6 names by this point. No, 5 names by this point it was. And I thought, right, normally the night before the weigh-in, I normally go up to my room, and that's me for the night. I don't want to socialise. I'm like near on fight weight, and I just want to just go to sleep and chill out. And my dad calls me. Oh, I've missed a huge part of this story out, by the way, lads. Right?
Go on, let's hear it.
Right, so my dad nearly didn't get his visa sorted in time. It was being processed, and they said it might not make it in time. So after all this, like before all this, I went to LA just with me and Miles, with the thought my dad's not going to be in my corner for the first time in my pro career, because his visa took a little bit longer to get. And so when I was agreeing to all these names, fight week, he wasn't like messaging me back as much, and he said that he was working somewhere with bad Wi-Fi or something. And we went to an NBA game. This was the night before the press conference on the Wednesday. Went to an NBA game because all of my supporters, well, an handful of my supporters flew out. It was the day they flew out, and I got to see them for the first time in a few weeks. And after the week I had, just seeing them, it like really helped. Went to an NBA game, got back, my dad was stood in the lobby. So he ignored me, he ghosted me for the whole 24 hours. The worst 24 hours, like when I was agreeing to all these opponents. And he ghosted me, and he surprised me at the hotel.
That's
so
nice, man.
So yeah, and anyway, the night before the weigh-in, he calls me up, as well as Ian Ritchie. They was down in the lobby. They said, you need to come down in the lobby right now. Bear in mind, I'd made weight. I wanted to go to sleep, so I'm like, right. Comes down, and he said, your opponent's heavy. He's 30 pounds overweight. I was like, what? How? Like, how is that even possible? Why would you? He drove up from Mexico, and why would you drive to LA to the show, waste people's time knowing you're that heavy? In my head, so they said, you've got 2 opponents that you could either fight. They were already in LA, which was a bit suspicious because one of them's from Chicago. One of them was George Rincon, whose brother was fighting on the show, and the other one was Alex Martin. I said either of them. They're both southpaws, by the way, as well, and I was prepared to fight an orthodox. I've not actually fought a southpaw in my pro career, which I don't know why, because I do all right in sparring. So they're both southpaws, and not unprepared to fight, but I said, right, any of them, yes. They was like, right, Alex Martin, he will, 100% yes. But Alex Martin flew in like earlier on in the week from Chicago. He's a Golden Boy fighter, so this Mexican I think was a complete decoy. Like, I think
Mind games.
Yeah, because this Alex Martin, he was, when Ortiz pulled out, he was one of the ones on Instagram to call me out, and he was already flew in by Golden Boy. So I was like, will he be 147? Because I'd already made weight. Yes. Okay, see you tomorrow. I didn't even watch it. I watched about, because my dad was on his phone next to him on YouTube watching. I watched about 20 seconds of him. I went up to my room in a strop. Like, by this point, I was like, after everything I'd been through in the week, being a nice guy, like, and respectful to everybody, why be? I owe them nothing. There's no more Mr. Nice Guy now. Like, I've got my opponent. I'm going to bed. My mood completely changed.
Is that why your mood changed at the head-to-head? Because I think you put your head on him, didn't you?
Yeah. So I went to bed thinking, you think I'm gonna like carry on being nice to these guys? Already suspicious that they've kind of tried to stitch me up for this fight week. I thought, I owe them nothing now. And when I went to sleep the night before, I already knew that I was going to get up close to the guy at the weigh-in. I already knew it. So I got to the weigh-in. The weigh-in was actually in the morning behind closed doors. In America, they do like like the UFC and that do.
Yeah, I think Top Rank introduced that first, didn't they?
Right, I'm not sure. So it was all new to me. So I weighed in the morning. By the time I actually weighed in at the head-to-head in front of the cameras and stuff, I was probably half a stone heavier. But so I got up close to his head, which was planned. But it all happened so quick, and then it looked like I'd headbutted him and stuff. And Bernard Hopkins was pulling us apart and that, and stuff like that. But I just thought, I thought I let myself, at the beginning I thought I let myself down because I acted really well all week. And then thinking back at it, I was like, I owe them nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Golden Boy fighter. I'm fighting a Golden Boy fighter on a Golden Boy show, and I'm not no like walkover. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they think I am. And like we'd both weighed in. I'd got my fight. He had got his fight because he wanted to fight me, and it was on.
But how did they treat you out there? You said that the Golden Boy team, you don't owe them nothing. But when you were out there, how did Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, and some of the other teams, how did they treat you out there?
They always had good words for me, like both of them, and even Rob Diaz, like who's part of Golden Boy, and like all people that I've met, all terrific people, really looked after me. But like they flew me business class and all stuff like that, which is something I've never experienced, and stuff like that. But I wasn't there for it. They didn't need me on the show. They didn't need to keep me on the show, did they? But all week, it was like I was the draw. I was the one there to fight Virgil Ortiz. So every other fighter wanted to fight me after he pulled out. Everybody was talking about me. Although Alexis Rocha and Blair Cobbs got moved to main event, which rightly so, it was a great fight, bit of rivalry, all stuff like that. I was the name on everyone's lips all week. Like Michael McKinson was the name on everyone's lips in boxing world in LA. So yeah, my worth shot up in the week, and in hindsight, I got paid ridiculous money to fight a guy that didn't really want to commit with me. So I was laughing when I was on the plane on the way back, business class, with my glass of champagne, and you know what I mean. But yeah, it was such an up and down trip. But like at the end, when I was in the changing rooms, like normally everyone gets nervous. You guys would know that. Like I've been in the ring 72 times in my whole life, and I still get nervous. Now's what I do when I was 11 years old. But it was different in America. I was feeling emotional in the changing room. I never really felt like that. I was thinking, wow, this is weird. Like I'm like from Portsmouth. I'm fighting on a big Golden Boy show in America after not earning anything for my first 10 pro fights, after having to go on the road like in my career and be the B-side and not expected to win and prove everyone wrong, like as on my way up, to now I'm gloved up in America, just about to walk to the ring in LA. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy feeling. And when a ring walk came on and I walked to the ring, I soaked everything up, and the ring walk was my highlight of the whole trip.
Yeah.
Just walking to the ring in LA, because I nearly didn't fight.
Yeah, true.
I nearly didn't fight. I would probably have never got the opportunity again. I'm not a favoured person to like a lot of people, so I might not have got that opportunity. There's other people that gets opportunities over me, and I thought after this whole week, this is an unbelievable. Seeing like I think 60 or 70 people that flew out to watch me is mad. Like it's crazy, and it was great. Obviously, the fight I knew before. Like we had a media thing like after the weigh-in, like because all of the commentators wanted to find out about me and all stuff like that. And I said, this fight tomorrow, I'm fighting a southpaw boxer. I'm a southpaw boxer. Like it could probably be a clash of styles. I got in, and the guy was probably the smartest fighter I've ever fought, the slickest fighter I've ever fought, the quickest fighter I've ever fought. Like he's definitely the best fighter I've ever fought. Like, and I'll give him that. But he was a 140 fighter, and he did not want to commit after a round. He didn't want to commit, and it was me that was trying to make things happen. So, like, he couldn't win rounds by not doing a lot, by looking good. Like, he can't win rounds. I was the one that was trying to force it. But it wasn't the most exciting fight for my American debut. But I had to do what I had to do, and I was the one that was working, and I was the one that deserved to win. Like, I think it was clear on a few of the scorecards and stuff, but I remember as soon as round one I remember hearing people on the front row. So Bernard Hopkins had amazing words for me all week, like, but all the way through the fight he was, yes, obviously he's a golden boy fighter, Alex Martin, and I thought, is this going to like sway the judges? Like things started going through my head, but I'd done what I had to do. Walked away with the win. There was a few boos. Like the American crowd are relentless. Like they are ruthless. So if nothing was happening in the fight, they'd start booing. And it wasn't so much me. I was on the front foot. I was the one trying to make things happen. It was their own boy that was being negative.
I think you were both counterpunchers.
We was, but in the fight, I had to be the aggressor. I had to be the one on the front foot, which isn't really me. But out of the two of us, I was the one looking for it. I was the one that was working for it, and he was the one not doing anything, just trying to look good and trying to make me miss. And he did make me miss with quite a few, but he also didn't win many rounds because he didn't. Do you know what I mean? I was the one who deserved it.
Do you think as well that's because he wasn't that active beforehand? Obviously it was a last minute call for him.
It was, but he was training for a fight.
Oh, was he?
He was training for a fight. That's why he was near weight and stuff like that. And so you could say that. I don't know if he was training to fight in a 10-rounder, which I was training to fight for a 12-rounder. You know, I was training. So like, down the stretch, you could see that I was getting better, and he was kind of looking for more breathers and stuff like that. But he didn't want to know. And I trained for 4 months to fight one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet for life-changing money, to still getting life-changing money, not as much as what I was doing fighting Virgil Ortiz, but still got paid ridiculous to fight somebody that didn't even want to throw shots at me. So, like, although I went, like, beating Ortiz would have changed my future, like, it would have, I was the one laughing when I was coming back to like England, and then I got to enjoy some food, and I got to enjoy some time with the people that flew out with me for the last 48 hours. So, although it was so up and down, I still got to fight in America. I still got my win, still got paid very well, and like I still got to see people that flew out to watch me fight. So it was unbelievable. Like, and also when I went like 11 days early, I was still doing my training. But me and Miles went to see Santa Monica Beach and stuff. We went to see the Hollywood sign. We went up Beverly Hills. Like,
What did you think on that aspect of everything? America's amazing, right?
Yeah, but obviously what people don't see, they see LA, they see the glitz and the glamour and Beverly Hills and the sign, but there's a lot of like rundown places. There's a lot of homeless over there. There's like which was a bit of a shock. Like
Venice Beach.
yeah, it's anywhere you go really. I was staying in downtown LA, and that was like crazy, like the homeless and stuff. Like over there it is, but it was an amazing trip. Like I was living my dream.
Yeah, man.
I was living my dream, and not many people can say that they've gone over and boxed on a Golden Boy show in America.
And co-headlined as well.
Co-headline.
And you were the first off the ports. You almost headlined. I'll tell you how big the fight was here. Was I was walking down the street, and someone was saying, "When's Mikey McKinson fighting?"
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Do you know
it shows
what?
you the impact that it has.
I had 2 people from the Portsmouth News that flew out. They got like the sponsorship to fly out and spend all week with me.
Who was that?
Jordan Cross.
Oh, Jordan
and,
Cross, yeah.
Lewis Mason, who
He's a
works
smaller guy. Yeah,
he's
Jordan
a
Cross,
younger
yeah.
lad. They was out for me. Like that's when you know how good you're doing for the city, when you've got the news reporters following you around all week and like going out there just for you.
Yeah.
And like when I beat Congo last year, like I was on the phone to him like every day and stuff, and they said you don't know how big this is for the city. Like when I fought Congo, so when I fought LA, it must have been even bigger. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm really happy and proud of what I've done, and especially the America thing, proud of what I went through and still came out the other side. But I'm not satisfied yet, because I've just got a taste of what life could be like. I flew business class to LA, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like
First class next step, mate.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, like I'm on the hunt already for what could be next. I don't know yet, but I'll tell you what. Straight after the fight, I already
Was Virgil in the audience? By the way?
no. But I did tweet him in the week, respectfully, and he tweeted me back. But I don't think he was in the audience, unless he was hiding.
He seems quite respectful, though.
Very, very respectful man. A few words, but he's a respectful young lad. But yeah, like after the fight, I think it was straight after, I messaged Lee and like, who's next? What we got next? Like straight away, I'm already on the case. When some people want their downtime, want their break and stuff like that, I'm already on the look for what's next, because you've got to be active and you've got to keep the ball rolling. I just turned 28 the other day, and these next few years are the most important years of my life. So although I've had a bit of downtime, I've still trained ever since, but I've been on holiday and stuff like that. But I just want what's next. In my ideal world, I want to fight in the summer, and then I want to fight again before the year's out.
And what's the names? Who's number 1 on your list?
Oh, I've seen Ortiz has come out and said that he's fighting in August the 6th at 147, which, like, I turned up to fight Ortiz, so they should really honour the contract and offer that to me. Whereas they haven't really bit it back or said anything back on that case, which at the beginning, when I was in that Inglewood hospital getting my brain scanned, when I found out that Ortiz was like ill and pulled out, they said they could reschedule down the line. That I wasn't betting on it, I wasn't hoping on it, because at the end of the day, he didn't need me back then. But they did say they would like to reschedule down the line. But I haven't bit back or said anything back. I've been tweeting, I've done everything, and I haven't. But like, even a lot of the Americans on my Twitter are saying, like, if he fights anybody else but McKinson, then, do you know what I mean? It says everything. So
It's that right now, even though it's not on his record, that's going to be haunting him until it happens. Because
exactly. Like, they should do the right thing and offer that fight to me, because I turn up to fight Ortiz. Like, unfortunate circumstances his side, but I turn up. You know, I prepared myself to fight Ortiz, so I deserve it.
Have you seen him in the flesh?
No.
You haven't?
No, but everybody out there that I spoke to that have sparred him, been around him, said they don't know how he makes 147.
Yeah, okay.
So him saying he's coming back at 147 after that is a little bit scary, but he obviously knows more than anybody else in his team know what's best for him. But I deserve to fight. I know that Alexis Rocha and his team would like the fight, and Golden Boy would be interested in making that. I'm 100% interested in fighting Alexis Rocha. Like, when him and Blair was fighting, Blair was calling me out. Alexis Roger's probably one of the most respectful lads that I see all week. His team are an amazing people. In fact, a member of his team sent me out a Lakers jersey when I got back to England, with McKinson on the back and stuff. Like, that's how nice people they are. But business is business. He got an amazing win in LA, but I should have been top of the bill. Like, I was fighting Ortiz top of the bill, so... And Oscar De La Hoya said the winner of them could fight me.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any offers yet. I don't know what's what.
He was quite respectful in the... I saw an interview afterwards of Roger. He was saying, you know, McKinson's a great fighter. I love to, you know, that fight could happen in the future. Well, if you were to fight him, after seeing him now, what do you reckon are the key to victories against someone like that?
He is an amazing fighter. Like, he is. Like, they sat me ringside to watch him fight. Yeah. Although I'd seen little bits of him in the past, being a welterweight, but I didn't see a heck of a lot. And he put a beat down on Blair Cobbs. And I'll just shout out to Blair Cobbs, what a man he is. Like, he took some in there, and he had a heart of a lion in there. But Alexis Roger was a beast. And like, I've got all the skills to beat Roger, 100%. I'm not Blair Cobbs. You know, I'm not Blair Cobbs, but he's a great person. He's an amazing fighter. In my ideal world, I would obviously prefer to fight Ortiz, because Ortiz is a much bigger name. But the Alexis Roger win will be amazing for me too. So 100%, like, that's there to go back over to America. Haven't had any offers yet. So like, time's running out.
Has
like,
Eddie Hearn said anything? Is he?
My team doing, obviously they've been quite busy at the minute, but Eddie Hearn said we'd try and get him back out in America, which I don't mind. I'm known for fighting on the road. Like, I think in my career I've fought on the road a couple of times now. Ryan Martin, Sam McNess, Congo, Alex Martin. So, like, when people are wrapped up in bubble wrap, I don't want to be wrapped up in bubble wrap. Like, I've never have been, never will. So, although it's hard to get decisions over there and stuff, we all know that. I'm happy to go back to America and fight. I got paid a lot more money to fight in America than I did over here. So,
and you're getting your name out there in America as well. How big is the boxing market in America?
Oh,
if you see the Amir Khans,
yeah, it's people's dreams to go and break America, right? I went over to LA and everyone was talking about me, because I was due to fight Ortiz. Everyone was talking about me, so I'm already halfway there in America. I've got an American fan base. I was getting people stop me in the streets, like, asking me for pictures over there. Like, it's like huge. Like I think there was people that flew in from South America. I think there was a guy I was speaking to from Venezuela or somewhere like that, and he said he's there to watch me. So I think he may have been there to watch Ortiz, but since all that, he was there to watch me, like, randomly stop me. So my name is across America now. They know who they didn't before that America trip, but they do now. And so 100%, I'd 100% go back to America and fight. But if not, I need a date soon. Like, as long as I've got something penciled in, I'm happy.
How about UK, man? How about Conor Ben?
Well,
how about the Albanian warrior? How about these guys?
Yeah, like, I feel like Conor Ben said in an interview the other day, everybody else ain't even worth talking about over here. It's just me and him leading the way. Like, he said, what did he say in the interview? He said, the only people that have got a chance of winning a world title is me and McKinson. The rest ain't even worth talking about. And although Florian's got a massive following and he's improving and stuff, he's not on my level.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but again, you could argue he was losing the fight up to then.
He was losing the fight.
Yeah, so in terms of levels, like, now that Brooke and Khan are retired, there isn't. There's a good crop coming through, that prospects that I wouldn't really look at fighting because I'm looking at these names, but the welterweight division is completely lit up domestically. There's like Lewis Crocker, there's Eko Asuma, who's the British champion, there's Samuel Antwi, there's Harry Scuff, who's calling out everybody, like me including, he's calling me out, and there's loads of names. Chris Congo, who's back in the mix after a win. There's loads of names, but you've got to remember, I've just been to America to fight for X amount. I would not sell myself short to fight these guys for little money. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even worth talking about them. I'm only on the hunt for what's going to fill my bank account up, what's going to benefit me most, these big American names or do you know what I mean? So over in the UK, the only one that's really is Conor Benn, and am I going to get that? No. He said he'll fight me at like maybe for a world title, but
They're further down the line.
But yeah, so I'm not really looking at them British rankings anymore, and that's no disrespect to the guys, because there's some really good fighters in that top 10 and good prospects and game fighters, but ain't going to benefit my career any good. Ain't going to benefit my bank account any good. I've got to look out for what's best for me now. All my career up to probably a year ago, I was taking fights for not great money, but just to get myself into the position I'm in now. Now I've earned the right to earn some money out of boxing. I've been competing 17 years. I've only just been earning like good money, so I've earned the right to think, right, whatever's paying the most is what I'm going to do.
Sorry, Ash, I was going to say, what's Josh Kelly doing now? Is he moving up to...
Yeah, 154, but like I sparred him actually beginning of the year. He looked huge, but he obviously weighed in last week to fight, and on the fight day,
he got pulled.
He got pulled and stuff. That was at 157, so I'm guessing he's going to do 154. But yeah, I'm in no position really to move up in weight yet. Like with nutrition, there was a time I was finding it hard to make weight, but with nutrition, like when I made weight the morning of my last fight, I joked with my team and said 140 next. Do you know what I mean? Although I had a lot of time in that last camp, so there wasn't no rush to get down, and I've got down in such a great pace. But yeah, I'm a 147 fighter. I've been a 147 fighter my whole pro career. There will be a time where I do get, because I am getting bigger at the weight. I'm rehydrating to bigger weights nowadays, so there will be a time I move up, but not anytime soon.
I think overall, as you've said about your trip, you had the longest camp. America sounded like an amazing experience, even with all the highs and lows. Now you've had that experience. Moving on to possibly having Virgil Ortiz finally, I think having that experience that you've already had, when you go to America, you know the job, there's no first time of anything, you know, even though you said Golden Boy, they treated you well, they probably did play mind games. They probably knew this guy was going to fight you way before you did. So the way you've handled everything already with that experience, that's going to be huge. When you go out there and you've got that already in the bank, huge.
Completely agree. Like the experience, like all the experiences that I experienced over in America have been amazing. The bad ones and the good ones, because I'm taking that on with me in the future.
Make you a better person and a fighter.
Yeah, so like, I know what to expect, just like you just said, and all of this, like in terms of my, like everything that I've got them experiences to take me all the way to the top, because it's not going to be as hard as what it was last time. Do you know what I mean? But I know that people are out to try and like maybe get you beat and all stuff like that. I knew that anyway. It's business at the end of the day. But you know, I've like since America now, I've got a bit of leeway in maybe like what I want and all stuff like this. Like people start taking me serious.
And they should do. 100% they should do.
22-0.
Yeah, well, what I can definitely see in you from the last time that we see is a confidence come through you. Yeah. I think that experience has changed you as not only a fighter but a person as well. Yeah. So that's good to see.
Yeah, it's just I'm finding it hard not having a date. Like obviously I'm still training. Like it's my job to train. Got to be fit 365 days a year. Yeah. But not being in a structured routine when you're in camp's hard. Yeah. I was an hour late today. You know, I was an hour late today.
It is Sunday though. So.
I forgot and all stuff like this, but I enjoy it, and it's easier for me when I'm in camp. A lot easier. If I had it my way, I'd be in camp all year round. Still training. I'm still fit. I played a game of football yesterday for the first time in years, and I'm feeling it today. Completely different, but yeah, like any day now, like I'm always on the pest of right. What's next? Get me something. Like I need something next, because you got to realise in 2020 I boxed once. In 2021 I only boxed twice. you know. So
So finish up as well. Do you want to look in the camera and call anyone out? For you don't have
anyone,
to, but
no, anyone that knows me knows I'll fight anyone. As the bigger the name, the better for me. So I know I've got a great team doing their thing, but yeah, and I'll travel as well. Just pay me right.
Who's in your team now? Who you got in your team?
Leader manages me. My dad trains me. Miles trains me. We got Mark Coons. He's
Is he doing the S&C with you?
He's doing little bits in the gym. My S&C trainer's Gary Jones, and I do little bits with Mark and my physio Cameron Brew. He's unbelievable. SCRX Physiotherapy. They're in my team. We've got another lad, John Gaze, that's come over and helping in the gym as well, where I train at base camp. And then obviously we've got Eddie and Frank Smith at Matchroom that are doing their thing and changing my life.
Amazing. Well, Mikey, thanks for coming on again. It's a pleasure seeing you, and we'll talk to you after hopefully going to America again.
Yeah, 100%. I'll have even more stories next time.
Can't wait to hear him, mate. Can't wait to hear him.
Nice one.
All the best. Thank you guys for listening. Cheers.